The Great Gatsby, the third book by F. Scott Fitzgerald, is considered the supreme achievement of his career. This quintessential Jazz Age novel has won the admiration of generations of readers.
Francis Scott K. Fitzgerald was an American writer of novels and short stories, whose work has been seen as evocative of the Jazz Age, a term allegedly coined by him. It is considered one of the greatest writers of the 20th century. Fitzgerald was an American born in the 1890s who came of age during World War I. He finished 4 novels, left a 5th unfinished, and wrote dozens of short stories dealing with themes of youth, despair, and age. The novel begins with one of its characters, Nick Carraway, once Gatsby's neighbor, and tells the story sometime after 1922, when the events of the novel take place.
The novel begins with Nick just moving from the Midwest to West Egg, Long Island, searching for his luck as a bond seller. He rents a house next to a lavish mansion, owned by a millionaire named Jay Gatsby, a mysterious millionaire who throws rave parties. Shortly after arriving, Nick goes to East Egg, the most elegant city, to visit his cousin Daisy Buchanan and her husband Tom, a huge and majestic man Nick knew in college.
There he meets professional golfer Jordan Baker and soon falls in love with her. Al Buchanan and Jordan Baker lead distinct lives, contrasting sharply in feel and luxury with Nick's more modest lifestyle. When Nick came home that evening, he noticed his neighbor, Gatsby, mysteriously standing in the dark with his arms outstretched toward the water, and a secluded green light in front of him.
Nick discovers that Tom has an affair with a married woman named Myrtle Wilson, a middle-class woman whose husband runs a modest garage and gas station in Ash Valley, a desolate and dilapidated part of town that is the confluence of town and suburbs.
One day, Nick is invited to accompany Tom to meet his lover Myrtle. After the group meets and travels to town, Myrtle calls her friends to come over and they all spend the afternoon drinking at Myrtle and Tom's apartment. Time is filled with drunken behavior and ends ominously with Myrtle and Tom arguing over his wife Daisy. Drunkenness turns to anger and Tom breaks Myrtle's nose.
After this incident, Nick turns his attention to his mysterious neighbor, who hosts weekly parties for the wealthy. At Gatsby's invitation, Nick and Jordan attend an extravagant gathering. There, Gatsby turns out to be a generous host, but remains distant from his guest, more an observer than a participant, as if he were searching for something. With the party over, Gatsby takes Jordan aside to speak privately.
And by talking to Gatsby, she discovers that Gatsby and Daisy were in a relationship before, and couldn't stay together because Gatsby had nothing. Then Gatsby made his fortune and aimed to get Daisy back, and that he still loved her and tried to get her attention with those noisy parties.
With the onset of summer, Gatsby and Nick become friends, despite Nick being convinced that he is a dishonest man. Nick and Gatsby go to town one day, and there Nick meets Mayor Wolfsheim, one of Gatsby's associates.
On the same day, while having tea with Jordan Baker, Nick learns of the amazing story Gatsby told her the night of his party. And that Gatsby loves Daisy Buchanan. Then it's time for Gatsby to meet Daisy again, face to face, through Jordan Baker, and Gatsby asks Nick to invite Daisy to his little house where Gatsby will appear without warning.
Daisy meets Gatsby and gets confused at first, but soon they start a romantic relationship again, which draws the attention of her husband Tom, and he begins to suspect that his wife is having an affair with Gatsby. His suspicion is confirmed when he goes to a dinner at Jordan's house that Gatsby brings, and he notices his looks at his wife is full of love, which will make him angry because of his wife's betrayal.
Tom goes to New York after that to confront Gatsby in a hotel, and confronts him with the truth he knew about his wife, and then tries to expose him in front of his wife that Gatsby was involved in several crimes, and that he collected his money illegally.
Daisy is affected by her husband and moves to East Egg. Then Nick and Jordan leave, and on their way back they discover that Gatsby's car has hit and killed Myrtle. Nick then discovers that Daisy was driving the car, not Gatsby, and that Gatsby intends to take responsibility for Daisy's protection.
The next day, Tom tells Myrtle's husband that Gatsby killed Myrtle and ran away. Myrtle's husband thinks that Gatsby was having an affair with his wife. He goes to him to kill him and then kills himself.
Nick ends his relationship with Jordan and then leaves the place for the Midwest, fleeing from everyone around him, feeling their decadence and disgust with the lifestyle of the rich.